For those who missed the memo about a month ago, I mentioned that I was starting school again for computer programming, and so far we're about 5 weeks in. It's feeling really good. I'm having a lot of fun, actually, believe it or not, working on database stuff, intro to programming. For database, we're learning MySQL, which is pretty cool. I actually think I'm more of a database kind of guy so far. And for programming, I've had the opportunity to look at Eclipse and VS Code, and we are now learning Java. So that's kind of what I've been doing over the last few weeks. Everything's looking great so far, except for math. I'm terrible at algebra, and you got to get 65% to pass, and I'm getting like 70s. So, you know, I could play card games, but other than that, if it's not addition, your math for your boy Q is not very good. Anyways, looking at the deck here, I got Harmony, and I climbed from rank 7 to rank 2 over the last week when I was able to play, and it's been going well. With this deck, I played 11 games, have 11 wins. I'm telling you, it looks like a shortcut to pro. I didn't want to play Saskia because I find that Saskia is kind of overdone. If I'm going to play Saskia, it's going to be in a movement version with the Guerrilla Tactics leader and put in a few more poisons and some things that can benefit from that, as well as maybe the Doblathena Sentries and the Matron package. But for this, what I wanted to do is, it turned out to be a devotion deck. No real reason for that. I think it just works the way that it is. And I'm going to play a lot of Harmony stuff. This reminds me of like 2020 Gwent, where you're just jamming the Waters of Brokilon followed by a bunch of stuff. Waters at Brokilon at 9 provision feel pretty good. Anyways, we'll go from the top. So, call a Harmony, you're able to spawn and play Dana, and we get 16 provision allowance. Dana's a relic token, starts at 7 but has Harmony, so the point ceiling of this card's about 11 or 12 points. It could go more, depending on if you have chameleons on the board. Okay? So then we have Mystery is the Lock Feint. Really cool scenario. One of the best scenario arts. You gotta love the Creek. And basically progresses whenever we play a unit with Harmony. We get the Lake Guardian, which comes on the board and gives itself a boost by the amount of primary categories we have in the deck. So this comes out, I think, at 9 points in this deck here. And then whenever I play a non-neutral unit boosted by 1 for each category, it has a lot of the units that I have in the deck have 2 categories, which makes them get a +2 buff on deploy, which is amazing. Chapter 2 spawn and play Lock Feint Convergence. Just a card essentially that gives me a primary category I don't control. So, very good. This card works as an engine throughout the round, it works as a point slam, and it works as just utility at the end where you can spawn and play a card. Okay? Dana is actually amazing, but you got to be careful who you play her against and how you play her. So, starts 6 power in round 1, goes to 7 when she evolves from Provider into Caretaker. And so basically, if you play her when we don't have a round win, then what she's going to do is she's going to get +1 boost for every category in our hand. So all the units in our hand that are a category that we're not controlling. So if we play her and we put Crystal Skull on her, she demands a Heatwave right away, and she pays us back right away. Because if I have a handful of 8 units, I put her down, that's 8 boost on the first turn. If I go and play a Rebuke to the first engine that they play, we're getting another 8 boost in our hand the second turn. If I go and play Waters of Brokilon, and maybe I have another Dryad in hand, well, we're still getting like 7... You know what I mean? It's crazy. So if we get 4 or 5 turns out of Dana, we pretty much win the game. That's what I'm generally noticing, assuming that we don't have to spend all these cards in round 1 if we just get a pass out of them or whatever the case. So I love to have Dana in the deck for that reason. Simlas is here for consistency, but he's also here for Harmony procs. I didn't really find a lot of low provision elves that I thought would be beneficial to this deck. And when I went and looked at things like the half-elf hunter, I feel like you're better off just rolling this off a Simlas backup plan. The Simlas backup plan combo gives us that utility of having the damage, but also choosing what card's the most appropriate for a situation. So if we need a movement tech off a Dragoon, for example, we have that. If we need half-elf hunter for another Harmony engine, we have that, and so forth. I like that for that reason. Backup plans to the backup plan, it's funny because it's actually the reverse order, would be the Rebukes. Generally, I like to play the Rebukes from hand because I think they're valuable in just eliminating engines, but if I have to play them here, we will. And there's not really any incentive beyond, the 5 damage here. I do have 2 treants in the deck, so if we do a death blow, we could get the +2 boost on the treants. So that's why you want to go Rebuke in this case, opposed to doing something like Alzur's Thunder. It just gives you a little bit more of a ceiling. The Thunder, I suppose, adds another category to the deck, but I don't think I care that much, to be honest with you. And in addition to that, we have a couple cards, units specifically, Dana, Simlas, Pavko. There's a lot of good stuff here that we don't want to miss. So having Call of the Forest helps. We get to play it from deck and boost it by 1. We get 1 draw off of that. It's a little bit more cost effective, allows us to greed a little bit harder with the deck than playing something like Oniromancy. Oniromancy is not a bad move here, though. If you wanted to go Oniro, you would have to basically take Pavko out, put a 5, and you'd be able to put Oniro there. But I think I'm happy enough with what we've got here, because we've got the 2 thins, 3 thins, and, it is what it is. If I miss something, it's meant to be, I guess. And, don't sleep on Pavko. This card was like a card that no one played, no one took seriously for the longest time, but he was given Harmony prior to Sunset. And if you look at this here, okay, Mysteries of Loch Fane gives it a +2 because of Human and Bandit. So already off the bat, he's playing for 7 coming down with a Harmony engine with 2 points per turn. I guess that is my incentive to go Devotion. I was thinking about it during one of the games, Pavko. So if you're controlling only non-neutral units, so you can't put this in like a Renfrey deck or something like that, but in this deck it works really well because we're getting 2 points per turn of damage. If we had the Pavko on the board along with the Treant Boar on the board, that's 4 points per turn of damage. If they have something to move the Pavko out of the way, well, we have Malena to put him back. Malena's also good at putting the Treant Boar back, so we don't have to waste a turn using the Aura on the Treant Boar and then not getting the 2 damage. So these 3 cards are actually really nuts for taking a round on their own if you pair them up with the Rebukes and maybe the Skirmishers. That could be just like a control meltdown round, and then I have my big point swing 100, 200 point round, Harmony, Bonanza, whatever you want to call it, going on as well for later. So Lake Guardian Dust Aspect, it has Harmony. This unit's Harmony is also triggered in hand and deck, so you don't have to worry about drawing them in round 1. You just have to keep proccing Harmony. A really good way at doing this is just playing out your units one at a time and then trying to get down the Chameleons. You want to do a Chameleon per round. I like to have a Chameleon in first round and then a Chameleon in scenario round so that we're getting the most value possible off this card. This card is an essential card of this archetype. You need to have Chameleon, otherwise Harmony's not as good, believe it or not. So if you're playing against this deck and you want to take away points from it easily, take away the Anthurian and take away the Chameleon. Just an FYI. So anyways, at the end of the game, this should be anywhere from 13 to 19 points depending on how you play. And it makes a pretty big difference for 7 provisions, or 8 provisions rather. It's playing for more points than a gourd, so think of it that way. Just takes some time to get there. Weeping Willow, a couple reasons why you want to have this card. It has Harmony tag. If you put it on melee, you get to boost by the number of unique primary categories we control, which is great. And if we play them on range, we get a poison. What I generally try to do is play them on ranged and basically complete a poison with the Dryad Ranger, take the Malena, push him back to melee, and click him. If I'm unable to do that, because I know it's a lot easier to do that combination in Guerrilla Tactics, because we have Call of Harmony, a little bit different, we can just, put him on melee from the start if we already played the Rangers. Because you might pull them in 3rd round, these in the 1st, that's completely fine as well. You don't have to worry too much about that. Still plays for a lot of points. I try to value Harmony 1 at about 4 points, 5 points of extra value. So I look at this card playing for about 10 plus whatever the boost is on the board. Usually it's not uncommon to get maybe 14, 15 points out of a Willow. Talked about the pair of these guys, they go hand in hand. Percival, I see some decks are taking away Percival. I think we keep Percival because Percival is the ultimate greed. Really, really easy to be able to play Percival and get him up to 20 points. I know it demands tall punish, but the thing is, if they're not using it on Percival, then they're using it on something else. So when I play Percival, I try to, in the back of my head, not consider him on the board for points and just look at the other points that I have, right? So if I'm at 50 points and Percival's at 20, I'm really at 30 points, okay? Because we know he's probably going to take the heat, but that's okay. That's what he's there for. If they don't have an answer, then we just win hard. So it is what it is, but Harmony 2 makes a world of difference. You don't need to put Harmony on him with the Ethereal unless you absolutely have to, because he's just a wild house, you know? So I think that's something you just want to have, and you want to stump the opponent with as soon as possible. Ethereal, probably one of the best 5 provision cards in the game. Harmony, and you're able to infuse an allied unit with Harmony. It could be a token, it could be anything. Just make sure that if you're trying to infuse something, that you're not clicking Crystal Skull on that thing first, because infusions will not work if it has Veil. That's the only gripe with this, having the Crystal Skull, but if you know better, then it's completely fine. And Cat Witcher, I just feel like is a really good value card. It doesn't really have any synergy with the deck besides proccing the Harmony, and then obviously getting 2 points of damage per turn on Adrenaline. I'm finding myself playing him closer to Adrenaline, which is completely fine. If you're not happy with Cat Witchers and you want to play a little bit more defensively, you can go with one of my favorite Scoia'Tael cards, which would be the Dwarven Chariot. It did get a nerf. It's playing for 7 points on melee. You know, now it feels like more of a card that you would just include in like a PS Control or Dwarfs, but it still could be good here. Machine tag, defensive strategy, keeping the skirmisher with armor, keeping the Harmony engines alive, keeping the Pavko safe. You could do it that way, but I think that just Cat Witchers on Adrenaline are nutty. So I like it like that. And yeah, Chameleon Infused Self with a random Scoia'Tael primary category that you don't control, or to replay self, then reduce home power by 1. So you can play this right down to 1 base power. You're playing it a few times, a bunch of Harmony procs. You don't play this early, you play this literally when you have your board state established, because they're going to try and kill it. You want to get at least 1 proc off it. If you play this card 1 time and you proc 4 things, you're already getting, I would say, your value out of it. But for every turn it's untreated, it just gets better and better and better. So that, and skirms are just here to enhance control. I think the skirmishers are one of the best 4 provision cards in the game. Every Scoia'Tael deck that I play, I feel like I need to consider it. So skirmishers here play for 6 damage, and that's why I chose them, because chipping things down with this and this and this, like all these preventative plays, feel almost safer to me than putting in, because I know someone's probably going to ask for it, the Fledgling at 6. I know she got buffed up to 6 once upon a time. I think she was a 4/4, right? But I have that play off the Waters of Brokilon. I could spawn 2 of her. I think that's good enough for me, and the tempo is quick. Okay, 9p, 2 of these, 12 points, yeah, right? To put these out, then to just play them from hand, I want to be able to put them out and then stop things while they're happening for my opponent while proccing Harmony. So that's my reasoning for it, in case you were wondering. Here's the deck. Hope you enjoy the deck. I'll upload this to playgwent.com along with the evidence of the win rate. And yeah, man, it's been great. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks again in the next one. Okay, first up here we got James coming in with the Reckless Flurry Skellige, rank 2, probably shoot. See if we can actually float her or not. Since I go first, I probably have to go deep if it's shoot, so we can win the round. I think we put back the late Guardian. I'm gonna actually put back Nature's Rebuke as well, so we can get more value from her. And then we just get rid of the brick for Simlas. But they have Curse of Corruption or Heatwave, but I guess we just ask for it right away. I'm gonna boost her. She already gets dividends off that. You get 3, 6, 8. If they can't remove her in 1 play, it just keeps going, but I think they're going to be able to. Yeah, there you go. The problem is all non-neutral units, so it actually benefits them, which is terrible. I wonder how I approach it. I could always go 2, 3, 4, 5, or just 3, 6. They didn't play a unit, so Simlas is kind of weird here, unless I took double rebuke. I'm just gonna go for this. It's exactly what I thought it was. It's unfortunate that they get a lot more carryover than we do, but it is what it is. Let's go and play the waters so that we can go deep, and then we'll go and play Pavco to get the harmony procs. Pavco is good here, but so is Entherian. Might just be Entherian first, because then we can turn Harmony on the Dwarf. So this was base power 5s to start. So they got 1 boost off things. Not terrible. And just essentially we're going to be getting 5 passive points per turn plus the 2, 7. Because now we're just going to go in with the Witcher and then the Chameleon. That's going to hurt. Yeah. So it was just the 1 boost they got. It's not terrible. Do I ever just flip it now? Probably not, because they can hit armor still. I could just take Cat Witcher so we can ping it and just flip it quicker. Maybe. Three, 2, 1. I think it's actually wild how it's not really getting them ahead. Our target might actually be trying to get rid of the Snowdrop, if I'm being honest, just in case they have draw a discard kind of stuff going on. So we get the pass off a shoot. You gotta love it. The problem is, though, if we play Scenario, they take shoot for destroy Scenario, so we lose a lot of points off that interaction there. This will die to leader on an empty board. The hand's good. I have poison. This is not really doing much, but we got the carryover on her. I wonder if it's ever just a long round. Hard to say. I'm not missing a lot. It's not really good here to go first. They did commit quite a bit in round 1. If it's Lippy, though, they get some of that back. I'm actually going to pass. I think that that's the best way to look at it. They might just take shoot for resilience, so they get 10 points on me going into round 3, but not a whole else we can do, really. I guess we'll poison that. The fact that they play the shoot now, it just means that if I can pull Scenario somehow, then yeah. That's terrible. At least I can go in for the late Guardian, that's something. And there's the shoot. So they're actually just planning to have that go off, you know? Okay, realistically, we have to proc this off the first time we play. So I think what I'm going to do here is take Therian, and then we're going to put down the Percival, infuse it, so we get essentially 3 off that. And then we'll leader at the same turn. I think it's just a safe bet, just so that if they play leader, we play around it. I need a Dryad down there soon, so it's going to be the Ranger, and then we're going to be able to get down Tree and Boar and the Willow. I guess we have the movement text so that we can push the Willow to melee in this case and just play with the Boar for most of the round. Man, 3 7s are kind of crazy. At least we don't have to worry about a Scorch because they have a 10 out there. Something to think about though. If I take both backup plans now, I can turn this engine off. It slows down us getting the poison, but I think that's actually reasonable. It's just kind of a free engine removal, you know? And Farseer gets value, always in this deck, which I love. It's kind of nutty. Just in case they go for him. They might have Erendite. I'm expecting something like that because they have a lot of tempo. But I don't think the Erendite's going to be great. They had a hard time keeping pace in this one. Here, we'll go for the poison first, and then I can get the Boar with the Zeal. We should just run away with this one, I think. Yeah, okay, there's the COC. Too much damage has been done here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take Malena before I complete the poison. I just gotta maximize points. So, Guardians at 13. We have a really good points lane for the end. Kraken. It's kind of a big deal. Here, let's do this.
I hate you! Curse you, one!
I guess they have a way to finish the Kraken kill. And if I push an engine back... Just make sure we get rid of that so that they don't have a tricky Peller. Worst case scenario, they get the Kraken back, that's fine, they get the 4 points, whatever. We go Dwarven Skirm, and then that. Okay, that's how you're getting it back. That's interesting. It's not enough, though. At the end of the turn, summon self to the opposite row. I guess we just sink into that for now. wonder if we ever just click it. This is Beast Cursed. We're not putting any tags out here that we don't have, so... Yeah, GG's. What a terrifying matchup. We got Syndicate, Blood Money coming up here next. Actually, if I can get Dana round 1, that's pretty much a win condition. But I have one mulligan to get her or... Oh, never mind. One more because we're going first. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Streamer plot. Let's go, baby. Damage by 6. Nice bounties, bro. They're going to play an engine probably to try and, you know, and then the second turn's going to be like a profit card. Oh, other way around. Okay, let's see. Nothing else to really do except for play Waters.
Waters of Brokilon, their taste still upon my lips.
I want to get the max payoff here. Then we just play Rebuke next. Yeah, they want to... Wait, what? Maybe they don't understand how bad Dana is. I wonder if I just start Chameleon procking here, honestly. Because then we can make it more expensive for them to kill. Yeah, it's not enough.
That is all I need.
They have to use leader. Can't really take a poison here. It's a little bit of a waste. They're sitting on 5 points of damage.
Humans are scum. I prefer elves, dwarves, pixies even.
I'm pretty sure that we pass here. Because then we get all this. We get 4 extra points. And then if they play Hail at the end for 18 swing or whatever he's at now with the pluses and minuses, then it's like every single card that we play is going to be worth that much, you see? 2 extra points on those, 8 points on that pass. Then the comment section's going to be like, oh, she needs a nerf. I think she already had one. This is terrible because obviously Treant Boar is like such a value bounty, but I need a throwaway. There we go. I'd like to keep a Rebuke under normal circumstances so that we can get rid of a spender if we need to. The fact that they put 2 of these really good spenders out there means they have Brawlers, and then they have, I guess, the Executioners. But that's really it. Is that the right word? It's been a while since I played Syndicate. I'm due for a Syndicate deck. Sure.
How many sweet rolls could I get for a diamond?
Do you really want to go there? Okay. I don't know if you want to go there, buddy. You got me confused now. I feel like Boar lets them funnel better, but this will waste 3 damage if I play it. So I'm actually just gonna stick with the Boar play here, and I don't love it, but because they got 5 in the pocket and they got +2 off the leader, but they don't want to spend that. Oh, okay. Well, Caleb's dead. Goodbye.
Scoia'Tael! Attack!
At least it's a one-off. Problem is they'll go for the wipe here. So they'll kill Boar, and if they have to leader the 2 or the 1 with armor, they will. Yeah, Executioner was the right word. The thing is, they can only give it bleeding in its current state, so yeah, it's going to be leader here. If they don't click that one more time, I'm going to draw them back. There you go. So they're not. That's an interesting choice. I wonder if I ever just go Simlas here because I have so many good things in my deck that I don't want to brick. I think so. So Simlas, we're going to go for points. And then I'm going to click the skirm after the fact.
Why should I, an elf,
Just let them know, you know, I'm not messing around. Yeah, so I said points. Farseer doesn't actually do a lot for me. So we're going to just, now that they boosted, I have more damage to give. This one here, I suppose the damage by 1 wouldn't have hurt, but no, this is the straight wipe and they quit. See, that's my only... Okay, good, you're staying. I was gonna say, it annoys me actually quite a bit when you sign up to play a game and you know the risk of playing the game, right? You win or you lose, and that's what makes it so suspenseful. And if you come in here, and I'm not saying this person specifically because they haven't done it yet, but if you come in and you finish half the game, or whenever things aren't going your way and you throw a little tantrum and then you close your client and have us sit through a load screen for 2 minutes, you guys have seen this hundreds of times on my channel before. Come on, man. People that do that shouldn't be playing cards. But this person didn't do it yet. So go easy on this guy. This bleed, I don't know how well it's going for them. I think that they think the 18 points at the end is going to save them, and then everything's just good. I want to keep my Harmony stuff, so I think Witcher is probably just the safest play here first. That's for a return of 4. I suppose if I had to choose between the two, Weeping Willow without the counterpart is probably just good to play here on melee because I have an established board. If I don't get a pass here, I'm gonna have to, like, I don't want to gem leader, but I need you to leave, you know?
The church welcomes all are free to convert.
Definitely. Okay, we're gonna go boom boom. They could have Marils. Nope. They're not in a position to even do that. Yeah, I see what the whole thing is here. 18 plus, they go for... Here. I'm keeping the card, buddy. There you go. Now I just need one Harmony card. Easy. I got like 8 in the deck. Probably more. Guaranteed. We keep her for now. We mulligan this. 6 base. I don't really feel comfortable playing Milena for no reason. Here, let's go there. Their leader's at 4. Perfect.
I am one of a kind.
Yeah, I had to use leader because otherwise we'd end up with a tie, or they'd have the ability to go in and play a little bit more there. Was not expecting the Heatwave. Just more punish, and more punish, and more punish. We're going to be playing the Dryad on the melee row. That's pretty bad. 2, 3. Do we ever just go in for a skirmisher? They would kill it though. We're probably not going to get the kill off. Four, 5, 6, 7. More points to go Pavco first. We play the Ranger for a +2. We get 4 points of damage here. If they play a Spender, doesn't really help me too much because these got a buff to 5 power instead of 4. At 4, they were really nice to kill. Do we have anything? Yeah. I think I might take it. Really? You're only going to get +1 though. Sure. I think Rebuke is worth it. We don't have to worry about the Treant buff. I guess I'd floater. It's kind of lame. Watch me regret that Rebuke. I didn't need it. I should have left it, actually. I lost 2 points, so it was really like a 3-point Rebuke. But they could probably get more than 3 points off whatever they play here. But I think the damage is already done, to be honest with you. Pavco's kind of hidden. I think Pavco should be at 6. I guess the Harmony does help keep him alive. I guess we could say balanced. Yeah, we're doing okay. Certainly not clicking that. There's no incentive. And you can't do anything with all the coins. Let's go. wasn't really that close. It's probably one of the most scary matchups we can have against, literally, because they benefit from us going tall, and we love to go tall. And of course we have to go first. That's amazing. We gotta split up what we're doing here. They don't have a lot of engines. It's mostly deploy stuff in this type of deck, so I'm going to just put away one of the rebukes so that if we get Dana, we get more Dana value. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I wonder if Dana's even the line that we take in this matchup. Normally, I would love to go Dana early, just get a bunch of carryover. I think it's actually helping them, so I might take her as like a widespread point play when we have the scenario later on. And apologies as well if the game freezes or gives the impression of it freezing. I don't know what's going on, but it's been doing that lately when I have Streamlabs open. Here, let's go with this.
Fleeting, and life is eternal.
Artists knew what they were doing, bro. That's all I gotta say.
Attention, please.
Wait, what?
I shall now speak.
Okay, so the fact that I see a Traherne tells me that you're playing Golden Necker. Because in a regular Toussantois Knights deck, you're not throwing that down. Ever. I don't see why you would. We play 1 Ethereum per round. I think that if you're spending more than 1, it's overcommitting. And Saskia dump versions, you know, we tend to try to kill the Ethereum when it's played. So Saskia dumping decks are going to be probably summoning 2 in 1 round. But I decided not to do Saskia here, man. Kind of overplayed.
That's impossible.
This is literally just mill. Okay, sure. I'm cool with that because I know what to do now. Nice. Problem is I have Simlast for 2 Thins and a Call of the Forest, so we actually have to outpoint them early on. We have to maintain that lead, go for a 2-0, or get them to pass soon enough so that if I pass, then I can go into round 3 with a full hand and not worry as much about what's in the deck. I'm going to take the boost on the Skirmisher just in case. This is what I'm talking about if you're one of those guys, you know? I think this is actually going to be one of those guys. Mill player, it's checking all the boxes already. I'm going to take a sip of the Starbs. We got the cold brew on deck this morning. I took my cat through the drive-thru just to get her out of the house, you know? I feel bad. If I was a pet, I wouldn't want to be inside all the time, but I don't trust her just like running free, so Starbucks drive-thru is what we did. And yeah, this is really hitting on this coffee, man. Yeah, he's one of those guys. Game number 4, we have Enslave 6, probably 6, usually 6 is 6. We got the guy's name Recruit. So I know he's pretending like he's just kind of like entry level, but this guy's probably a sweat. Probably been playing since beta. So we gotta be careful, you know? Dana's in pocket. They're gonna have engines to play. I think 1 rebuke is more than okay. The thing is, they just enslave Dana first turn, and then I'm stuck. So we gotta be careful about how we position her. I don't really want them to take that, because I have no way to kill it in 1 turn. I don't know, man. Is it really the end of the world, though, if I let them use their leader?
My boots got sand aplenty.
I don't know. They also have assassination for free if I put her on an empty board, so. What if we just go for the poison play? We curve out the harmony off the poisons, and then I have this to push the Willow to the front if we need to, and then we just hold on to her. We play her for more of like a deploy thing later on. Just like the last game. Well, what I planned on doing in the last game. So they have net 5 after this, whatever they play here, so we're not really ahead. But this is a human, so they're going to boost this. It's going to be 6. Really? I guess that's all they have. I wish I could switch my focus here to the 10, but we can't. Whenever my game is doing the lag thing where it shows on my main display that it's freezing, on Streamlabs it looks like it's still running smooth. And I usually, whenever I notice that and I look at Streamlabs and it's running smooth, I just tab out and tab back in, and then it's fixed on my main monitor. If any of you guys have been experiencing that, let me know in the comments. I'm actually curious to know why. That hurts. You know, I'm gonna have to start taking this seriously, man. What did they play last? Just, it was this that they played last. So, Simlas here is not really gonna hit. I have to actually go first with something else, and then we go Simlas. Is there anything I can pull from... We have a Dryad out. I'm gonna go and take the boar here. I need them to play another turn. It's really important. Simlas to secure the round, and then we have scenario play to just wipe the floor with them, right? 2-0. Problem is they have so many good muzzle plays in this. It's like, come on now. Or not muzzle, but leader muzzle. Same thing. See, it's doing it again with my screen. So this would be bad, this would be bad, this would be bad, this would be bad, so. We actually get ahead off this. So I'm going to take this opportunity now. Maybe bait them taking her. Because they can look at it this way. If they take Malena, she's playing for 2 points per turn. If they have anything row locked, they're out of luck. How many Magnis are you going to play in one round? So they're not going to take her.
Yeah, I work for the Queen. Better than working for humans.
I don't want to hit for any 2s on the board because I don't want to... Or 1s on the board. We don't want to overkill if we get the adrenaline on the Cowitcher. See? Really? Okay. See, I actually thought I had to go a bit harder than this to get the round. So that puts me in a pretty good spot, man. And now she sitting at 7. Okay, we got not a lot of harmony going on here. Does Catwitcher ever survive? Maybe not. 1 and 2, it's good enough. I'm gonna go this way. Wow. What if I just bleed in with scenario and then play Simlas next round? There we go. So I'm gonna have to actually take Pavko to complete the scenario, because then we can double proc and get him out of the 6 range, you know? Well, actually, he would get the +2 off the scenario play right away, wouldn't he? Whatever. I think it's better we infuse than we play. Use Pavko plus the Skirmisher to get rid of the Cowitcher.
What is truth if not an illusion? Move!
It's wild how many of these you play. This is value, but we're not actually going to be playing anything. Give an enemy unit bleeding 4. It kind of gets rid of the Cowitcher. Devotion? There's no shot where devotion by mistake. Believe it. There's not even any incentive to be devotion here. Just, I guess I felt like it. Things are working like better than I expected here. Amnesty would suck for me. I can't go all the way in, so I think I'm going to go 1, click, 2, and then maybe gem leader, and then just force the hand. Go Simlas into round 3 and just try to draw well, I guess. If you were smart about it, they're going to take Pavko here at 6. That's your time to take him. Yeah. So maybe we just go for the value play now and just play Chameleon and not really worry about playing her. And just so you know, we take it back to hand anyways and replay it, so even if it gets damaged, it's not a big deal. So I have the sergeants out of the way, Stefan out of the way, leader, we have battle stations, I've got a lot of 5s gone, and we got Vigo out of the way. So what we're missing besides that would be a couple tall punishes, and I'm hoping that the hand's very good and they're trading down with this here. The fact that they're able to just get by with it. Dana's not going to be worth a whole lot to me in a short round 3. I'm thinking that she might be worth trading here. I'm gonna do it. And then this dies at the end of their turn. Relic gone, so if they kill her and I do play this, we actually get another Harmony proc off everything, which is great. There's the tall punish that I was looking for. Not the one I was thinking, though. And now I just can't play in, so. I'm gonna say that was successful. If I can draw into Waters and Lake Guardian, I'm doing just fine. Either or, actually, would be pretty good. I'm telling you, it's the plot, bro. And we get perfect mulligans because now I can put away these two. Whatever. I'm gonna just say, you know, count your blessings. At least we don't brick these. I got the Guardian, which is alright. This plays for +2. I guess we play Cowitcher later. This should be a win if I'm not a terrible player. Yeah, their deck must just be low value cards. We just rebuke and play on interactive, don't we? So they get +6 if it's a soldier. It's funny. Oh, this warrior, never mind. I was going to say I thought that was a soldier for a second. Warrior makes more sense for the lore. Ramon into... You still got him left. Darn. That's got to be the last. No, there's going to be the one. So there's a 10 and then 6. I'm going to wait till they play the next card because obviously we want to hit more than just the armor off the backup plans. So it's going to be closer than I thought, believe it or not, which is crazy. I got 16 points in pocket plus 2 cards. One of them's probably a Tall Punish. Before they start chipping away and we lose a lot of value here, I don't think you have a coup in your deck. Heal by 4, there's no incentive, but boost by 2 looks pretty good.
You're dead already. Oh no.
As long as I don't go too tall, I think I'm fine. So, let's see. 9, 12 now. He's sitting at 9 currently. 12 now. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. 6s. 10, 12. We get a 50-50 on the back for 2 points. Boost by 11. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's one way of looking at it. We win, but... I'm surprised I didn't expect this. Yeah, sometimes you play against it.